Hello and welcome. Glad to have you here for Barre Express today. I'm Pat. All you're going to need is something for balance. So a bar, a chair, countertop, possibly a couch. I've also got some equipment here. You don't need any equipment. If you'd like for today or next time, you could have a light set of weights, maybe a little squishy ball, maybe even some of those sliding discs that we might use next week. But again, you won't need any of that equipment. All you need is something for balance. I'm going to cue the music and we're going to get started. Wonderful. We're going to get started with a warm-up before we move into our traditional bar segment. So let's start with hands on hips and lower and lift. Just a little athletic squat. Belly pulled in. We've got a nice long spine. When you're ready, you can add in some arms. And then arms overhead perhaps. Little faster, down, up, little smaller, little faster. Just 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your arms. Let's find a stroll down the street. Press your knees to the sky, make your arms big and intentional, and when your feet land toe ball heel right on the mat. If you've got a mat, or the floor, or the carpet, or whatever you're using today. All right, press your hands forward, flexed wrists. Keep driving your knees up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now press open, little press of your shoulder blades. Keep your spine long. All right, beautiful. Hands on hips. Let's tap out to the side. Again, big arms. 2 and 1. If you want to find a little balance, we'll do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step wide. We're going to press our hips back and then press into rise. Come back to center. Toes go out on the diagonal. Let's find a big plie. It's a wide stance, toes out on the diagonal, knees pressing towards the little toe side of your foot. Now let's find a little reach to the side. Reach to the side. That's it. Find length down your side body. Just 2 more. Now we're going to go to that other side. It's a tap. If and when you're ready, you come to that balance, stick it at the top, or you keep your foot tapping on the mat. Just 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it wide. Just 3 plies in the middle. Last one. Beautiful. We're going to pivot around to the side. Reach, bend. Going for calf lengthening here. Navel pulled into the spine. Last one on this side. Come through the middle. Lower and lift for 2. And then over to the other side. Reach, bend, reach, bend. We've got a 30-minute class here. We're going to hit it hard, and you're going to be done. Back to the center. Plie. Maybe you add in a releve by lifting your heels. 2 more. I'm going to pivot around, bring your hands down to the mat. Step back to your plank on your knees or on your toes. Take a breath in. Press the mat away, fingers wide, hips up and back. Press to your down dog. Inhale, glide forward, knees down, or hover for a little more activation. hips up and back. Inhale, glide. Maybe you hover, maybe you bring your knees down. Last one, downward facing dog. All right, walk your feet in towards your hands and then glide on up. Notice I've got some water here as well. That's always great. All right, we're going to start an upright squat today. We're going to face the bar. Feet are in parallel, so toes and heels aligned. You've got a soft arms distance from your bar, so you've got a bend in your elbow. Let's start in that squat, just like we did in the warm-up. Send your hips back. You're going to stay here, or you're going to join me by rising up on the balls of your feet, sliding down your imaginary wall. Your knees and toes are still aligned. Let's rise up for 2, down for 2. This is full range, whatever that full range is for you. Up and down. That's it. 2 count, keeping it slow right now. Lift. So the slower we go, the more distance we can cover. Let's do a half range. Up, down, up. So we're not traveling as much distance, so you can go a little faster. Lift, lower. Heels can stay up or they can come down at any time, and you're still doing your half range lift and lower. All right, 2 more, 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it down, your lowest point, whatever that is. Slide down your imaginary wall just a little bit more, belly in. It's a pulse, pulse. Remember that pulse is different from a bounce. You've got a micro pause at the top. All right, hold it there. Maybe you lift one arm. Maybe try lifting the other arm. Maybe you try lifting 2 arms and hold. And slowly release your hands. Slowly rise up, and let's find that full range again. Maybe it's a little faster this time. You can travel a little more. All right, meet me at the bottom. 1 foot goes back just a few inches. Find the up and down. 4, we're gonna switch sides in 3, 2, and 1. Step it in and back, up, 2 more, then 2 on each side. Here we go. It's down, up, down, and in, and back, up, down, and in, switch, up, down, and in. Last one, back, down, up, and in. Okay, you can finally bring your heels down. Give yourself a little stretch in your calves. Coming into our wide plie stance next. So toes wide, no equipment necessary. You've got all the equipment you need. Toes out on the diagonal. Bend your knees, slide down your imaginary wall, which means everything's lined up. Head over shoulders, over hips, over heels. Knees pressing to the little toe side of your foot. Roll your shoulders back. Let's find a lift and lower. You can bring your hands to the center. If you like, activate your upper body by pressing your hands together. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Now this is full range. Press into your inner thighs to come up to the top. Keep your navel pulled in. Keep your tailbone sinking towards the mat. It's not a tuck. All right, let's find that half range. Slide down all the way to the bottom, your bottom. And then you lift, lower, lift, lower. Very nice. Navel pulled in. All right, let's switch this up a little bit. Roll your shoulders back. Bring your fingertips to your temple, and then find your obliques on the side. Tap the back of your calf. Feel your obliques, those muscles down the sides of your torso. 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to switch it up by going across. Hinge a little forward, and then tap the front of your calf or the front of your leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's flush that out. Lower, lift, lower, lift. If you like, come on up to your releve. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it down. Hands come to your heart. Think about lifting one heel. Set it down. Think about lifting the other heel. Set it down. Switch, 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 switch. That's it. You don't have to switch on the fly like I'm doing here. You could lift one and lower, lift the other one and lower. It's fun just to try some different movement patterns sometimes. Let's see if we can sink down just a little bit more. Wobbling and shaking may be going on. It is for me, maybe for you too. Just 4 more of these. 3, 2. All right, big play. Let's flush it out. Lower, lift, lower, lift. We're going to come down to a hold. Heels up or down is your choice. Come on down. Hold. Heels up or down. Sink maybe just a little bit more. All right, heels down, rise up, toes forward, feet together. Okay, next up is Curtsy Lunge. So we're going to add in potentially some weights here. If you would like, you can grab a light set of weights. We're going to start center. We're going to start in sort of sumo feet. So toes are out on the diagonal, but it's not this wide stance. It's a little bit closer in. Your turnout is your turnout. It might be narrower, it might be wider than mine. Hands to heart center. Outside leg comes around. Your toe comes behind your front heel, or it might even cross over a little bit more, depending on what feels comfortable for you. Lift, lower, lift, lower. So you've got some weight in your back heel, back foot. The ball of your foot is on the mat in the back. Roll your shoulders. Release your arms. Hinge forward. Now widen your arms. I'm going to move over so I don't hit my bar. So elbows stay bent as you come up. Navel is pulled into spine. Just 2 more. Then we're going to go side to side and then land on the other side. All right, hands in, rise up, step out. Across, center. Across, center. You can come up to tempo here if you like, or move slower. We do not swing our weights. We place them in space. All right, we're going to end up on that other side. Remember, you can cross over as much or as little as you want. If the turnout doesn't work for you, you're right here in a lunge. Lots of choices. Do what feels right in your body. Let's lift, lower, lift, lower. Release your arms by your sides. Hinge forward, reach your arms back, and release. Now bend your elbows, bring them up, and reach in, reach in. So just a little tricep kick back here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step wider, lower, lift, lower, lift. If you like, up on the balls of your feet, bring your arms wide. You can have your arms up at shoulder height. They could be lower in. You could have them right here. Let's everybody bring your elbows in and lift, in and lift. So press. Your heels don't need to come up, or you can use the heel lift. That's it, heart is lifted. Last 2, last 1. Heels down, release your arms, toes forward, feet together. All right, we're coming into first position next. You could potentially also use a band here. I'm not using one today, but if you've got one handy and you'd like, you can slide into that. Bring your band over your knees. Maybe we'll try that next week. I'm going to face you. You can face your bar, but I want to show you. We're in heels together, toes apart. First position, legs. Your soft arms distance from the bar. You've got a soft elbow here. And let's get into that plie right away. Navel pulled up and in. We're nice and tall here. Now, just like we did in that upright parallel, we're going to have a couple of options here. Stay heels down, or we rise up onto the balls of your feet. Reconnect your heels. Slide down your imaginary wall. So everything is aligned. Head, shoulders, hips, and heels. Slide down as low as you're going to go. Ooh, yeah. Lift, lower, lift, lower. This is first position. Doesn't matter what it's called. Your heels together, your toes are apart. I'm just going to turn to face you. Now your hand is always lightly touching the bar. You don't have to ever have your hands on the bar if you don't want. But lots of times, feel like just a light touch is great for balance. Even one finger on. All right, slide down. And slowly slide up. Slowly slide down. And slowly slide up. All right, we're going to change up the rhythm. It's down for 3, 2, 1, and then up. Down for 3, 2, 1, and up. Just a little different rhythm. Same movement pattern. Now meet me at the bottom. 3 up, 1 down. 3, 2, 1, and down. What's happening with your feet? Are your heels buckling back? Let's try and keep them strong connection together. All right, stay at the bottom. Now side to side, 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 side. 4, 3, 2, we're going up next. Up and down, and up and down. Hold at the bottom, navel in. Maybe you bring your hand off the bar. Maybe you bring your hands up overhead. Hold for 8, 7, yes. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise up, heels down. Oh, give your legs a shake. Ankle over knee. You might even like a drink. Send your hips back. Maybe even pound out your muscles. All right, we're going to use one weight here, or no weights at all. Inside hand on the bar. Heels together, toes apart, elbow comes in. Let's find that tendu. So it's just a point. And in tendu, we're unloading that outside foot so that I can move. We've got a micro bend in our standing knee. All right, let's try this. Let's add the arms slowly and slowly in, slowly out, slowly in. Your foot doesn't have to come off the floor at all. It could stay right on the floor. Let's slide it out and lift. Bend elbow and knee. Out. Lower. Lift. Bend. Lengthen. Lower. Lift. Bend. Picking up the tempo. Yes, we got to remember to smile because it's fun. All right, last one. All right, step in. Bring that weight in between your hands. We're going to flush this out a little bit and then go to the other side. So now you can reach down, you might bring it just to your chest, or you might come all the way up. Lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's it. Coming to the other side. I don't have a balance on this side. You can turn around, do whatever you need to do. We're coming into time to once again. That other foot goes out, in, slide out, and in. Add the arm, in, out, in. Now, if and when you're ready, you're going to add that bend, out, and in. So you can float that foot, or you can keep it on the bottom, on the floor. You can float your arm higher, potentially. Just 4 more of these. 4. And 3. And 2. Stand tall. Last one. Make it your best one. That's it. All right, heels together, toes apart. Take your weight if you're using it between your hands, or just bring your hands together and lower in front. Sweep and lift. Maybe you come to releve. Maybe you keep your heels on the mat. A little faster. Up for 2. Lower, 2. Up. If you don't like this full extension, you could be right here. Elbows bent. You could alternate. Pay attention to your joints. If you have any discomfort in your joints, please choose a different option. All right, hands to heart. Rise up. Reconnect. Put your hand on your bar if you like, or slide down just as low as you're going to go. Keep the weight into the big toe side of your foot. Strong heel connection. Pulse, pulse. We've got 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. Now press your knees wide, wide, using the outside glute muscles to press your knees wide. 8, 6, pull your navel in. 4, 3, 2, and hold. Roll your shoulders. Slowly rise. Lift, lower, lift, lower. And hold right at the bottom. Roll your shoulders back. Let's find that press open once again. Knees opening. All right, we're having fun now. Hold it there. All right, rise up, heels down. Give everything a shake. Maybe a figure 4 would feel good here, or possibly even a heel to seat stretch. So we're coming into our sumo squat. Press your hip forward, heel into your seat. You don't need any equipment for sumo. Toes are out on the diagonal. Your feet are a little bit wider than your hips. Hands on hips to start. Lower down and lift. Sumo squat. So toes are turned out. That's going to change in a little bit. But right now, you've got a long spine. If you want to find a measurement for that, you could turn and your toes would be off the sides of your mat, if you're curious. But it's what feels comfortable for you, especially as you find this squat. All right, now toes come forward. Let's pulse for 4. Now toes out. 3, 2, and 1. Toes in. 2 and 1. It's like 4 count. 3, 2, and 1. Now 2s. Down, 2, out, 2, down and out, forward and out, forward and out. Now hands on hips, pull your navel in, rotate your toes to come forward. Step this outside leg back and then rise up, back and rise up. Press out of the mat, finding your balance. If you're a little wobbly, want a light toe on the foot or the full leg on the foot, full foot on the floor is fine. Just 3 more, a little faster. 2, 1. Together, other foot goes back, forward, back. If and when you're ready, you rise, back, up, back, up. So the idea here is we're pressing out of the mat. We're finding our balance at the top. So micro pause there. We're not swinging. We're placing our knee in space. 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's it. Bring your foot down. And we're done with that sequence. It's time for standing glute work already. So I'm going to use a ball today. By no means do you need to use a ball. I'm just going to demonstrate how you would use a ball, a squishy ball, something that gives. It helps us activate our hamstrings. So we're going to start in parallel. Toes and heels are aligned. You're going to stand tall. And then you're going to bring the ball behind your front knee, the one that's closest. So your knees are aligned here. Your back toes can be pointed or your ankle can be flexed. We're going to hinge forward so you can adjust your distance from your bar, hop back a little bit perhaps, and then turn out your knee. So from the front it looks like this. It's turned out to the side in arabesque. Now come on up, bring it in. This bottom foot, mine is turned out a little bit. It doesn't have to be. Hinging forward and lift. Knees come into parallel and then the hip opens to the side. That's it. And then you close. And then slowly open. Now as you come forward, if you're feeling this in your lower back, you can do the same motion. It'll be a little bit smaller range of motion, but you can do this all in an upright stance with your ears straight over your shoulders. All right, now, if you're hinging forward a little bit more, or even if you're not, we're going to find a squeeze on the ball. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. If you're not using a ball, you just are kicking your heel towards your seat. All right, now come on in and up and out, up and out. Your standing leg is doing a lot of work here, so if you're feeling it, that's okay. Hold there and squeeze for 2. Now in, 2, up, 2, squeeze, 2, down, 2, forward, squeeze, squeeze, in. That's it. One more. Hinge, open your knee to the side, and squeeze, squeeze. Come back on up. Bring your front knee forward, grab the ball, and then do your ankle cross over your figure 4 stretch here, going to the other side. So the ball is behind your back knee. Your knees are aligned to start. Take a breath in, exhale, hinge forward slightly, open up your hip to the back, and then bring it in. So you're in parallel, and then you're in open. So think of it as opening the door and then closing. Bring it in, opening. Again, in, close, slowly, and open. 2 more, Then we're going to add in the squeeze. Last one. Open and squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring it in. Close. Open. Squeeze, squeeze, close. Open. Squeeze, squeeze, close. Just 2 more of those. Open. Squeeze, squeeze, close. Last one. Open. Squeeze, squeeze, and close. Beautiful. Bring the ball forward, ankle over knee. Sit back. Send your hips back. Nice. You can set the ball down if you happen to be using one. We're coming back to that arabesque. So feet starting in parallel, toes and heels aligned. Front leg, step it back to about 5 o'clock. Stand tall, lift your back leg, and then bend your knee. And straighten. Bend and straighten. 2 more. You're standing tall. And your knee is out at 5 o'clock, little toe is leading. Now bring it back in, slide it open, lift, bend, straight, and in. One more time, little toe leads, lift, bend, and straighten. Bring it in, everything is in parallel, going to the other side. So prepare. Toes and heels aligned. Bring the weight into the inside edge of your standing foot. Your back foot goes out on the diagonal at 5 o'clock. Or I suppose that would be 7, and bring it in. Because we're on the other side of the clock now. Reach. In. Reach. In. Reach. In. 2 more. Keep it out there this time. Find the bend, extend, and in. Same movement, out. Bend, standing knee is a micro bend, and in. Out to 7 o'clock, little toe leading, bend, out, and in. Just 4 more of these, out. Bend, straight, 3 more. Micro bend in your standing knee. And if it's talking to you, that's not surprising. We've got 1 more. Out, bend, extend, and in. Beautiful. Step back, bend your knees. Bring your hands on your bar. If you like that shoulder release, you can release one arm and then circle it in a couple of different directions. If you don't happen to like that particular one, you can go straight to forward fold. Now everyone, bend your knees and release your hands to the mat or to some blocks if you happen to have some. Find your forward fold. Lots of knee bend here. Lay your chest down on your thighs, release your head. This is our flexibility work. Take a breath in, exhale. And then walk your feet back. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. And then glide forward. 1 more time. That's it. Step forward and then just pivot. Find your wide leg forward fold. Release your upper body. Soften your knees. Hands slide up to your hips. Step your feet together. Take a big breath in. Interlace your fingers. Let's have a side bend. And to the other side. Beautiful. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, I'm Pat. Hope to see you next week. If you like, find some gliding discs to bring along next time. Any equipment that you like or none at all. Have a wonderful week.